Okay, most of you guys knows that in newer version of Adobe Photoshop, above of CS6, Adobe is integrated a 3D engine system, 3D engine rendering inside of Photoshop. It means that you can create a very nice shape, 3D shape inside of Photoshop. And knowing how to create a 3D text, 3D shapes inside of Photoshop is very important to every Photoshop user. How can we create a 3D extrusion for this text? Okay, the first thing that you have to do is create a text like this and also go to 3D. You see that this 3D is appearing here, and go to 3D, and in here I don't want to talk about each parameters because they are very powerful. They need a specific course about 3D in Photoshop that maybe I will publish another class about 3D in Photoshop in the future. But for now, I just want to talk about how to create 3D text and 3D shape, a 3D extrusion for your shape and objects inside of Photoshop. Okay, once you select that, choose new 3D extrusion from selected layers, and once you choose that, wait a moment and just tell me you are about to create a 3D layer. Would you like to switch to the 3D workspace? Yes, I want to switch to 3D workspace. It just create a very nice looking 3D extrusion for my text, and it's completely 3D. I can navigate around. These are navigation tools. I can orbit tools, rotating, and dolly, zoom like this. And I can put around. They're very powerful like this. And in here I can change my extrusion value and amount like this. I can change the text color. It just create a bold color, but in here you have to use different part of your text for adding colors and adding materials. For example, if I change the font of that like this, this font, I can add different materials to that, just to the font of my text, and maybe like this. And I can add, for example, material to back of my edges of my text like this. And you see that it's very nice. You can add multiple reflection maps like Cinema 4D, like 3D Max, rendering options, and there's a bunch of parameters. Once you do all the things, you can now switch between layers and 3D. Just click on the layers, and in here, if you want to rasterize this 3D, you can simply right click and choose that rasterize 3D to convert that to a actual layers. And you can also go to 3D and hit a render. That takes a lot of time, but it just calculates all the lighting options. That in here we have our lighting setup. Once I click in here, I can change the lighting and shadows, and it just calculates all of those realistic options. For example, reflections, for example, shadows, and these kind of steps to create a very nice looking rendering options. For example, if I click in here, you see that it just takes a lot of time to create rendering, and I can escape that to stop rendering. I go to layers and click to rasterize 3D, and now you see that I have my 3D layers like any other layers inside of Photoshop, and you see that the result is not good because we don't wait for the final rendering. If you wait for final rendering, it takes about 10 minutes or 14 minutes for very high quality result.